All right. Well, we can take our masks off since we're part of the same family. A few weeks ago, we had children's time and discussed following directions and how sometimes that's pretty hard to do. Today, we're talking about listening, and I have a question for you. How good are you at listening, Abraham?
4 out of 10.
4 out of 10. Wow. I think he's a little better than that. He's a good listener. How often are you asked to listen?
A lot.
Like all the time?
Yeah, all the time.
Places?
School, home,
Sports?
sports.
Yeah, lots of different places. Is it easy to listen in all those different places when it's really busy, like a busy environment?
No, it is not.
No, it's not. That's not easy to listen like that. And what do you do to try and listen in those environments?
I just try to calm down and not pay attention to all the distractions.
Yeah, it's hard. Distractions are hard. All right. Do you ever just listen for enjoyment?
Yes.
Like, yeah.
Yes.
Like to music, nature, things like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes I like listening to nature.
Yeah. Well, sometimes we listen to people who are talking, but sometimes when we listen, we wait and we see what can be heard. Listening in all forms is hard at times, and I'll admit I'm a person who likes to move. I constantly move in order to stay focused and to listen. It's hard for me to sit still and listen. But sometimes we're in situations where it's best to sit still, even if it's uncomfortable. I know lots of parents in church, a lot of you have seen me kind of pinning Abe down in his seat in the pew next to me. Sit still. It's hard to do sometimes just to sit still and listen, and sometimes it's uncomfortable and it's not what we're used to. Guess what? Church is opening for a partial reopening next week.
It is?
It is, yes. So exciting. I'm so thankful to God for getting us to a place where we can gather safely. There's a catch. Did you hear a word that I used? Do you remember?
Partial?
Partial reopening. Yeah, that's an odd word. It's kind of like when you went back to school in the fall. Are you still listening?
Yes.
Are you still listening? It's kind of like when we went back to school in the fall for hybrid learning. It wasn't the full deal. It wasn't all day, everybody's there. It was just a little dabble of school to get a taste of what it was like, and it was enough to be safe, but not too much to put anyone at risk. Hybrid learning, partial reopenings, these are not words we used a year ago. There will be lots of instructions that you'll have to listen to in order to come to worship safely. One of those rules is we can't come up here to children's time. That's really out of the ordinary for us. You have to stay in your seats and listen to children's time from out there.
That's going to be pretty weird not having children's time during worship.
Well, we'll have children's time. We just can't come up here. You'll be sitting down in the sanctuary in your seats, which isn't normally what we would do. Normally, we'd move around and give everybody high fives as we walk up here. But we can be glasses half full people, have that type of a look. And look at this as a chance for God to help us practice sitting still and listening. I'm going to say a prayer now from a nighttime book that my children listen to often at our house, and we also give this book as a baptism gift when babies are baptized in our church. Dear God, can you repeat?
Dear God,
thank you for the trees and the birds
thank you for the trees and the birds
and the sun that shines above.
and the sun that shines above.
And thank you most of all, dear God,
And thank you most of all, dear God,
for watching us with love.
for watching us with love.
Amen.